Passport bros are generally guys that are trying to find serious relationships, and then eventually marry, and build a legacy. I think I think the mix up is when it comes from guys like, let's say, Austin Holloman. I think the reason why he got a bad rap is because he's only 23, and I'm not gonna lie to you that it kind of triggered me because I was thinking to myself like, okay, I get it, you know, but I'm like, I really don't know a lot of women in the states at the same age that are like thinking, oh, I want to get married right now. So it was like, for me, in my opinion, it kind of came off kind of hypocritical. But there are some older guys that are going overseas just for sex.
Do you want to stay abroad?
That's
If
what I was gonna
you,
ask.
okay,
So
perfect. Or do you
good.
want to come back to the States if you do find, like, bring her back here?
Oh no, I definitely want to live abroad because understanding the power of the U.S. dollar, and plus there are actually business opportunities overseas. Guys are investing in real estate, um, Airbnbs, things of that nature. So there are opportunities to build wealth outside of the states as well. And with the U.S. dollar being as strong as it is, why not take advantage of it? Like, sounds pretty smart to me. I mean, but I would always come back to the states and visit because I would want her and my children to you know get to know my side of the family, and all that. But on top, but I wouldn't want to bring her back here to stay. No, no.
So if you don't mind my asking, with you being relatively new to that space, is there somebody mentoring you, help guide you through where to go, who to talk to, how to talk to them, how to have those conversations with people and families?
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. Actually, one of the couples that I interviewed on my channel, she's actually from Barranquilla, so she's been a huge help as far as like guiding me around, and then other fellow passport bros that are more experienced. I've leaned heavily on them as far as you know knowing the do's and don'ts. How to speak to women, how to you know speak to the locals, and just being respectful of the culture and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm like, I've definitely leaned on the more experienced guys a lot because like I say all the time, when like when the OGs shut up, I just listen. I mean, when they talk, I just shut up and listen. Pretty much.
Well,
So
the
on
the reason I ask, I just want you to stay safe as you go through this journey. So make sure that
Absolutely.
you have people that you're in contact with, and hopefully a good mentor. I just want to throw that out there to you, brother.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
what's
so
up? How y'all?
hey Marcus.
Yeah.
So I had a question around that, talking about mentors. Are these men who successfully found wives, or are these men still on their journey to find a wife?
Oh no, like these are guys that have found wives. Not sure if any of you are familiar with Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders. He's a YouTuber. He's been married because they actually live in Cali, Colombia. I think they've been married for, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years now. So I'm like, I lean on him a lot. Um, there's then there's the couples that I've had on my channel. One of them actually have a YouTube channel called Love, Purpose, and Passports. They're located in DR. And then, plus the couple that I had on my channel, who the wife is from Barranquilla, where I'm currently at. So, I generally rotate between those three. And all those guys are, I think, like, for the most part, I think all those guys are like in their 50s, and they're all married.
Are you concerned? Okay, so I know a lot of times when men are talking about women here in the States, they talk about, oh, they just want you for their money, for your money, blah, 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 blah. Is that a same concern for you dating abroad?
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to understand the economic situations in these other countries, and I get that. But I also understand female nature, and at the end of the day, um, a man is always going to be valued on what he produces. Men don't go to women looking for security; it's the other way around. But at the same time, you have to have a sense of awareness and understand that where you are, the women are gonna, you know, they are gonna move a certain way, and you just got to pay attention to the signs. And even being down here now, I've come across that where I might be talking to a woman, and let's say she might ask me for some money before I even met her, and then it's like, okay, that's a red flag. So, these are the kind of things that I've talked about on my channel, like what red flags to look out for. And it's like, I dealt with the same thing in the States. So it's like, it's really not much different. It's just
Yeah,
that,
that's why I asked, because I
yeah,
know if that very reason here it's frowned upon, but it appears that when men go abroad, then that's no longer a concern. When I'm like, I've heard that that's pretty much the same thing, if not more, just because of, like you said, living situations. So, the opportunity to run into that is the same. So that's why I asked.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely happening down here. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
how has your family and friends in the states reacted or responded to you becoming a passport bro, just to be short?
You know what? That's a really, really good question, Coach K, because my friends, they were pretty cool about it. Um, I think it was my mother who like really kind of like had a hard time taking it. Um, but I'm her only son. She's just being a mom, and I get it. Um, I think more than anything, she was just more concerned about my safety because I'm going to an entirely different country. Different laws. Same thing that you do in the States, you can't do in these other countries. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you respect the culture, respect the people, um, you really won't have any issues. And, just kind of stay out of the way, watch your back, know how to move. And I really don't, move around too much by myself. I mean, I generally move with like a pack of people. So, just one of those things you just got to look out for. And since like even since being down here, I'm like I talk to my mom at least once or twice a week just to stay up on things because she is taking care of my dad because my dad had a stroke my senior year in high school and lost his speech and his health has just kind of like gone downhill ever since. So even still, I gotta I check in with her just to check in on him as well. So yeah.
So, I hope he's doing well. I just want to say that the passport bros get a bit of a bad rep, um, accused of sex tourism and all of that stuff. So, what's one thing or a few things that you want to share about the passport bro life that you feel like people don't know or aren't talking enough about?
Um. Well, yeah, I'm glad you asked that question because this is something that I wanted to clear up for a while. Guys that only go for sex, we those are called sex packs. We don't really call them passport bros. Passport bros are generally guys that are trying to find serious relationships, and then eventually marry, and build a legacy. I think I think the mix up is when it comes from guys like let's say Austin Holloman. I think the reason why he got a bad rap is because he's only 23. And I'm not gonna lie to you that it kind of triggered me because I was thinking to myself like, okay, I get it, you know, but I'm like, I really don't know a lot of women in the States at the same age that are like thinking, oh, I want to get married right now. So it was like, for me, in my opinion, it kind of came off kind of hypocritical. But there are some older guys that are going overseas just for sex. But passport bros, what we've I mean, we can't control what everybody else do. We don't de-police people. We just tell people to be safe. And at the end of the day, we try to separate ourselves from those guys. That's why we call those guys sex packs. We don't call them passport bros.
I just wanted to. I think that the problem with when he says he's going over there and he's 23 is, I know in America people like to get married at an older age. So to us, it's like, okay, you're 23, have fun. But if we're talking about going to another country where maybe marriage is influenced at an earlier age, you don't want to mess with a young chick who has that type of mentality and bring her into Western ways, because then that's going to damage her from the opportunity that she has amongst her people, her culture. So I think that that's the reason why, we're not saying, he's any different from people who are in America. We're just saying, don't take your American ways and take them to another country. And then there's a reputation that American people over there are doing this, this, and this because you screwed up for people, when in actuality, you have people like you who are really there to do, the right thing, is to date with intent. So I think that's the issue.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. If you put it that way, that's a fair critique. That's a fair critique.
I don't know if you answered this already, but how different has it been, like the approach, like when you approach women in America versus when you approach them when you're in Colombia?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Colombia, how different you approach them?
Oh man, it's night. It's literally night and day. It's like the women don't come off as closed off. I mean, even the fact that I mean, my Spanish isn't really that good down here, because I recently just started picking it up again. I'm like, even the fact that I only know a little bit of Spanish, they're like very open to helping me. They're very patient, um, and just very welcoming. I mean, like they have this like a pre-parade called La Quachena, and like the women that I was meeting out on the street, like even though I didn't know a whole lot of Spanish, they were just very welcoming and very interesting. And it was like you can give them a compliment without them like kind of coming off like ugh, like why is, you know what I mean? Like versus in the States, it seems like a compliment is only accepted unless that woman reciprocates any kind of attraction to you. Versus I'm giving women compliments down here, and it's like it might not be any kind of intent of me trying to approach or try to talk to you, but just being friendly. You know what I mean? Like it's really night and day. It really is.